So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday morning drop-in meditation. You might notice we have a new background. When I was in front of the Buddha, there's windows behind the Buddha, windows along that wall, and I think it was affecting the lighting. So behind me now, we have Shantideva. Really amazing. His most famous composition was the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. So very wonderful that we have this beautiful tanka here. It was actually, it was painted, I believe, by Karma Punsog, a wonderful artist, and for the occasion of His Holiness the Dalai Lama giving teachings on the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. So we're very lucky to have it here. So let's begin as usual by settling the body and letting go of tension. So make sure that you are sitting comfortably. Whether you're on a chair or a cushion on the floor, it's very important to be comfortable. So now we're going to scan the body to let go of any tension that we come across in the process. So starting at the top of the head, bring your awareness to the top of your head. And breathe normally and naturally, not forcing the breath in any way and not trying to control the breath. So moving from the top of your head down to the forehead, over the forehead. Be aware of the temples. And any time that you find tension anywhere, as you do the scan, on the out breath, imagine that the tension just leaves the body with your breath. Coming down to the eyebrows, all those little muscles around the eyes, releasing, relaxing. Moving down the face, over the cheekbones, to the mouth. Again, checking the muscles around the mouth, relaxing the jaws, letting go, releasing. Feel that the whole of the face is relaxed. Still, peaceful. Coming coming back to the top of the head and moving down the back of the head. Base of the skull. The neck. Know that all of your head is relaxed. Still. No tension. And with each out breath, continue to relax. Coming to the tops of the shoulders. As we all know, a very common area of tension. So let's gently lift our shoulders up and drop them. Let's do that 2 more times. Might just shake them a little bit. Relax the shoulder blades. Be aware of your spine. And travel down the spine to the base of the spine. And be aware of the contact between the cushion on a chair and your buttocks. Feel grounded. Still. Come back to those shoulders and allow gravity to help them relax even more. Move to the front of the body. Relax the top of the chest. The diaphragm. The belly. The pelvic area. Have a sense of openness, spaciousness. The front of the body relaxed, soft. The spine strong, stable. And coming back to the shoulders and then moving down the arms. To the elbows. Elbows to wrists. Backs of the hands and palms of the hands. Be aware of the contact of your hands, either the right hand on top of the left, and the contact left hand with the lap, or if you're sitting with your palms down, be aware of the contact of your palms with your thighs or your knees. Whole body relaxed, at ease. Then come to the hip joint. Move down through the thighs to the knees. Down through the calves and the shins to your ankles, tops of the feet, soles of the feet. You sit quietly and be aware of the whole of the body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. And for a few moments, enjoy the stillness, the stability, the groundedness of your body, completely at ease and safe. Now, as usual, we're going to move on and do some breathing meditation. And I'm sure you all know, I can't see who's there, but I'm sure most of you know anyhow that our task, just in case we have some newbies, our task is to bring the awareness to the breath. Be aware of the breath entering and leaving the nostrils. Or you can also focus on the rise and the fall of the abdomen. Whichever point of focus you choose, stay with that one for the whole of the meditation. And whenever the mind wanders, gently but firmly, without beating yourself up, bring the awareness back. Before I actually start the meditation, let's not forget to set a very positive, unselfish motivation for being here this morning and taking part in the meditation. So those of you who are on the Mahayana path, touch base with your bodhicitta motivation. And let's all open our hearts with a wish that any benefit we derive from this morning's session is not only for ourselves, but flows on to every living being we come into contact with. Make that thought as sincere as possible. And we'll begin the breathing meditation. Recall the three important points for shamatha meditation. We need to be relaxed, we need to be still, and we need to be vigilant. Our mind needs to be alert and bright and aware whenever we lose the object of our focus. So that's the vigilant bit, the part of our mind that is watching and notices every time that the mind wanders. But don't let that vigilance be tense. Focus more on it being bright and aware and alert. Do your best to be as still as possible. But if you notice that you're starting to slouch or your shoulders have crept up, adjust your posture. Keep the breath and the awareness together, like a horse and a rider. Be aware when thoughts arise and don't allow them to drag you into the past or rush you off into the future, but simply bring the awareness back to the breath. Don't allow your alertness to become tense. Avoid tension in the body and in the mind. It's quite subtle, but arouse your awareness without tension, if possible. So have a little stretch, have a little sip of your drink. So we have been doing breathing meditation. So now we're going to do a very lovely meditation called breathing with all beings. So again, just adjust your posture. Touch base with your positive motivation. And as you breathe naturally, bring your awareness to the flow of sensations and the rhythms of your breathing. Notice how each breath, when you attend to it properly, reveals itself as a teacher of change and impermanence, freedom, flow, and the interconnectedness of all beings and all creation. Notice how, with each exhalation, you release and offer a part of yourself to the world. And how, with each inhalation, you are presented with a gift so precious that it sustains your very life. When the time comes that you breathe out and don't breathe in again, this life will end. Cherish every breath as precious, and know each is worthy of your attention. As you breathe, sense that you are breathing with all those beings around you. Contemplate that you are breathing with your loved ones and with your friends, breathing with the strangers passing by, breathing with your co-workers and colleagues, breathing with all the creatures near and far, and with the plants and trees around you that transform the carbon dioxide that you exhale into their own bodies and offer life-giving oxygen in return. Riding the ever-changing waves of your breath, imagine all beings within the atmospheric envelope of our precious planet. With each breath, each being weaves itself into the fabric of life and affirms its kinship with all living beings. Breathing together with all beings, offer each breath as a wave of blessings. Contemplate how, miraculously, the atmosphere of the planet contains approximately the same volume of air as the number of breaths that had ever been breathed. And within each breath are approximately the same number of atoms of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and other molecules as there are the number of breaths in the atmosphere. Thus, in a sense, with each breath, you breathe in billions of molecules of air, plus the inspiration of all beings who have ever breathed upon this earth. Imagine 22,000 breaths a day for a lifetime. They have 720 billion breaths. In a very real sense, with each breath, you receive into yourself some of the same air that was breathed by every great being who has ever walked upon this earth. You breathe with Jesus and Mary. You breathe with the Buddha. You breathe with Abraham and Sarah. You breathe with Muhammad and Joan of Arc and Milarepa and King Ashoka. You breathe with Plato, Newton, and Einstein, with Ben Franklin and Black Elk, with Confucius and Lao Tzu, with Rumi, St. Francis. You breathe with the Dalai Lama, with Gandhi, with Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Mother Teresa. You breathe with Dorothy Day, Emma Goldman, and Leonard Peltier. You breathe with your great-great-grandparents. And with infinite ancestors reaching back into the depths of time. And you send your breath on to be a source of inspiration for your great-great-grandchildren and generations to come. Sensing the presence of these and countless inspiring beings of the past, the present, and those that will come in the future. Rest in the flow of this exquisite contemplation. Allow yourself to become even more attentive now to the flow of your breath, to the natural receiving and radiating pulse of each precious breath. Mindful of yourself breathing with all beings, consider the possibility that with each breath, you can draw the inspiration that you most need in this moment and in this situation, or in any moment and any situation. Imagine that the intentions you hold in mind, the prayers and yearnings of your heart, and the challenges of the situations you are facing all blend to tune your consciousness and your energy system to resonate with the frequencies and inspirations that are most in tune with your needs in that moment. Whatever you need, peace, clarity, strength, courage, hope. Imagine that as you breathe, you can be inspired by those qualities. It's like when you drop a stone in a pool and the ripples go out to the very edge of that space and then ripple back again to the center where the original impulse began, in a way that completes and fulfills the initial impulse. As you inhale, pause to sense and envision the billions of atoms of air soaking into your bloodstream and being carried to nourish, energize, and truly bless every cell and fiber of your body. As you exhale, pause to envision, but through the power of your prayerful intent and imagination, you imbue the energy bundles of each atom and molecule of air with the signature frequencies that carry your unique blessings. Imagine the offering of your breath turning the trees greener, sweetening the fruit, and bringing joy to everyone who is touched by your offerings. Envision that each breath is offered as a blessing to the countless beings who will have the good fortune to breathe with you in the moments and ages to come upon this vast and precious world. So all those breathing with you in the moments and ages to come upon this vast and precious world. Let yourself become a great cosmic air purifier, purifying any negative energies held in the air you breathe and offering a bundle of blessings to all beings with each exhalation. As you rise from this meditation and move on to other activities, allow the ever-flowing waves of breath to remind you of this contemplation and invite you to continue to breathe with and for all beings, receiving and radiating with each breath. So the virus throws another light on breathing, doesn't it? But I think we can still practice this as long as we're doing our social distancing. And how wonderful to be able to use each breath in such a positive way for ourselves and all others. So seeing as I have Shantideva right here behind me, I think it's been very appropriate to finish off with Shantideva's very special dedication, which is in the Bodhisattva's way of life and which is in fact one of the Dalai Lama's favourite dedications. And it goes like this. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. So here we can, we can dedicate this positive energy that we have built up this morning for all these wonderful things. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, and those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments, and whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. And now the particular wish of the Bodhisattva. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain, to dispel the miseries of the world. So thank you very much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of the day. It seems to be very nice and sunny outside here in Ashfield. So stay safe, stay well, and yes, enjoy your day. Thank you for joining me.